If you are serious about becoming a successful writer and author, you are in the right place. Welcome to Bewa Writing School, an executive writing institution on a mission to raise the world's finest writers, authors, book editors, and industry leaders. Today, we are celebrating our 7th anniversary with a special free webinar tagged 7 Authorship Lessons in 7 Years. Real insights drawn from real experience. Bewa began as Brilliant Entrepreneurs and Writers Academy, a Facebook community with a membership track record of over 100,000 writers worldwide. Today, through Bewa Writing School and Bewa Book Club Africa, we are redefining education for writers and building a culture of reading, writing, personal development, and leadership while contributing to Global Quality Education (SDG 4). Our speaker is Eno Sam, President of Bewa Writing School and author of impactful books including the Advanced Writing Textbook, Authorship Mastery, Marketplace Intelligence, Editorial Mastery, and Leadership Mastery. Settle in, clear distractions, and be ready to take notes because what you learn here can transform your writing career.
It is such an honor to be speaking at this webinar today. Welcome once again to Bear Writing School. Let's go straight into the 7 authorship lessons I've learned in 7 years. What I share today is straight from my personal experiences. So you'll hear my story honestly and openly as well, so you can actually apply the lessons to your own journey. And I must confess, choosing only 7 lessons for this webinar was quite a challenge, a very big challenge, right? But because over the years I have learned countless lessons as an author. But today I will share 7 lessons. As always, this will not be a lecture. Yeah, it won't be a lecture because I love having interactive learning experiences. Okay, so my goal is that by the end of this webinar, you will have clear actions you can take, you will have clear actions you can start taking immediately. And to get the best learning experience, just grab your pen and your paper. All right, grab your pen and your paper. At the end of every lesson, I will share 2 reflection questions for you to answer personally. So, are you ready? Let's go right into it. Lesson one: book pricing is about the solution your brand delivers, not pages or formats. Recently, I had a conversation with someone who got to buy my book, right? So someone wanted to buy the hard copy of my book, but she later chose the ebook instead. But when she saw that both the ebook and hard copy were the same price, she asked an important question, right? And I like to follow this question to explain this particular point. Number one, that says book writing is about the solution your brand delivers, not the page or format. Her question was, isn't the ebook supposed to be cheaper? Right? And I smiled, right? I smiled and explained calmly to her that there are no rules to these things and authors can actually create their own pricing systems. She understood and she got the ebook eventually. So, yes, you can still price your printed books higher because of production costs, obviously, right? That's absolutely okay. There's nothing wrong with that. In my own case, different books of mine follow different rules. Some have only ebooks, some have equal prices, and some have higher print prices. All these are based on the project specifics and my goals per time. But let's analyze a case study together. Just imagine, and I need you to be very realistic about this imagination. Imagine being lost in a desert and you're dying of thirst, right? It's so thirsty. There's someone who knows the land, for example, someone who knows that particular land shows up and gives you two simple instructions to find water. Just two things. Number one, do this. Number two, do that. And that's in just less than 1 minute. He gives you those two instructions. Now, my question to you is, what do you think is the value and worth of those two simple instructions or directions? What's the value and the worth of those two simple directions? Guess what? Those few words are so priceless. They're so priceless, irrespective of how brief he was, because he has just solved a life threatening problem. He has just solved a serious problem in real time, which is your test. And it may have taken him decades to learn what he shared in seconds. Now, books are like that as well. Yes, book projects are like that as well. A book should be priced according to the transformation it delivers, not necessarily the number of pages or the format. All right. So we need to move from page based pricing to solution based pricing. This is something that I've observed that many authors mix up. So we need to get it right. Your reflection questions for this particular point is, and I hope your pen and your paper are with you right now. Number one, what transformation or outcome will readers walk away with after reading my book? Number two, is my current book price based on pages and formats or based on the value and solution I am offering? That's the second question. Okay, so let's go to lesson two. Lesson two says a single focused week can produce what months of scattered effort cannot. A single focused week can produce what months of scattered effort cannot. Throughout the first week of 2026, I decided to intentionally practice the Parkinson's law with my new book project, and the results were fantastic. Like, the results were mind blowing. And if you know a bit about history, you may have heard about this man called C. Northcote Parkinson, right? He is the he is the British historian who wrote the book The Pursuit of Progress, which is popularly called the Parkinson's Law. And this law states that work expands to fill the time available for it. Work expands to fill the time available for it. And this means that when we give ourselves too much time, we waste time. When we give ourselves too much time, we waste time. But when we give ourselves clear, focused time, we get results faster. For example, if you give yourself 3 months to finish writing your book, it will probably take you 3 months or more. But if you give yourself one focused week, you may still finish it within that week, because distractions will disappear and execution will become your only option. So it begins with your decision from the beginning. That is exactly what happened to me this first week of the year. But this is where I'm going to, right? In just one focused week, I completed what normally takes 3 months. I mean, the what of work that I did in 1 week is something that can be achieved in 3 months, right? And that's because I was able to practice the Parkinson's law in real time. That's because I decided that it must happen within that week. And this is the power of one single focused week. So execution is not magic. Execution is not magic. It's it's focus. It's deadlines. It's commitment. It's your discipline. I'm sharing this to show writers what's possible. And because as a book project consultant, I've noticed that one of the biggest struggles that aspiring authors face is procrastination, unnecessary procrastination actually. And it's just so painful that it's painful rather when I see people with so much value. They have so much value, but they hold back because they can't write their book. you know, they hold back their books for months and for years. So this is a gentle reminder that the world is waiting for your book, and the excuses, the valid excuses in quotes, should stop. Right? There's a quote I love by Jim Rohn. He said, if you really want to do something, you will find a way. But if you don't, you'll find an excuse. So, what is your reflection question for this point? Number one, how can I use Parkinson's law to finish my manuscript faster? Number two, what is stopping me from fully committing to focused writing time? I hope your pen and paper are working right now. Let's go to number three. Lesson three. Writing a book without a clear objective is a recipe for failure. You see, most times when I ask aspiring authors to define their book objectives, they either don't know the answer or they don't have an answer, or they give a vague response like, I just want to publish a book. I just feel like launching a book. While that sounds beautiful on the surface, you need to understand the importance of knowing exactly what you are getting yourself into. You need to understand your expectations so that you can plan accordingly. For example, if your book project is profit, you should not be writing your dream book, right? You shouldn't be writing your dream book because you are only passionate about your dream book. It might not be the right book to bring you the profit objective that you've set. Now, that reminds me of my experience as a new writer. When I was a new writer, I wrote a particular personal development book with the hope of selling to young people, and the outcome was not necessarily the most encouraging, right? It wasn't encouraging at all. And but that was when I realized, after a couple of days of evaluating what really happened, that was when I realized that there is a big difference between your dream book and the right book. It's not wrong to write your dream book. No, it's not wrong. You can write your dream book. But the thing is that you have to be honest about your objective from the beginning. For example, in 2024, I wrote a royal poem, Daughter of a King. That was the title of that poem. It was a sacred royal poem dedicated to me, written in honor of me, celebrating my kingdom identity. And I didn't sell that book because obviously the goal wasn't profit. I was just passionate about it and I loved the idea. So I didn't necessarily have to go through any process to check if it's profitable because I was not planning to sell it anyway. In that same year, my writing school, Bear Writing School, donated the Let's Talk Youth book to over 1 million young people across nations. The goal of that book was strictly impact, not profit. So everything was just free. I was passionate about it. So my approach to that book project came from the perspective that my objective at the time was just to impact the readers. But with my other books like Marketplace Intelligence, the Advanced Writing Textbook, Authorship Mastery, and the rest, okay, those are premium business focused books designed for profit and professional transformation. So can you see that your book objective determines everything in your authorship process? Your book objective determines every single thing in your authorship process. It determines everything from the content to the structure to the launch strategy. And lack of this clarity is one of the biggest reasons many authors fail. Your reflection question for this point are: number one, does my dream book meet my current objective, or do I need a different focus? Do I need a new focus? Number two, how will knowing my book objective shape my writing, publishing, and marketing decisions? Over to number four, lesson four. Okay, so for this particular lesson, I want to read a page from my new book, Authorship Mastery. Yes, so I just launched a new book titled Authorship Mastery. And for number four, I've picked the 42nd lesson that I shared inside the Authorship Mastery book out of the 50 strategic lessons I shared in the Authorship Mastery book for high impact authors. And one thing about this particular point is that this lesson was actually shocking to me. It was a shocking delivery for me because I used to focus on visuals so much, and I, as a new writer part time, I used to focus on visuals a lot more at the expense of what really matters. So let me just read what lesson 42 says inside my authorship mastery. Let's read it. Aesthetics cannot replace strong personal branding and messaging. Sometimes an author with average visuals but clear, compelling messaging can outperform an author with professional visuals but weak messaging. When it comes to authorship and personal branding, many people focus on perfect visuals, fancy designs, and polished aesthetics. These elements are not bad. However, do you know that appearance alone does not determine your impact or success? Messaging and content are far more powerful than how beautiful something looks. Let me illustrate this with three instances. Number one, when David prepared to face Goliath, the people tried to arm him with heavy armor and warrior gear, but it didn't fit. He struggled to move and couldn't even carry himself properly. David realized that his strength and skill were inside him, not in the fancy armor. He removed the heavy gear, relied on his sling, his arm, and his aim alongside his inner capacity. And guess what? He defeated Goliath. The second experience. A few years ago, I was on a road trip when the beautiful car I boarded broke down in the middle of the road. I was stuck. Soon after, a less attractive car came along and took me safely to my destination. The inner engine mattered more than the exterior. The ugly car delivered results while the fancy car couldn't. Thirdly, online, I've seen individuals with average branding, nothing polished or glamorous, but their messaging was so clear and compelling that they were making significant revenue. I believe you now understand that content is more important than container. Good messaging will always outperform superficial aesthetics. Aesthetics and professional designs can enhance a brand, but they cannot replace strong messaging and content. As an author or thought leader, focus first on clarifying your message, strengthening your content, and communicating your value. Once your foundation is solid, visuals and branding will become powerful, very powerful amplifiers, rather, not the core of your impact. David did not need an armor to defeat Goliath. The ugly car got me to my destination. Content always wins. Okay, so that's the point I shared inside the authorship mastery, and that's it. This point is already self explanatory. So, what is your reflection question for this point? Number one, I hope your pen and your paper are with you right now. Number one, am I prioritizing visuals over the clarity and strength of my content? Number two, if my visuals disappeared, this is a very important question. If my visuals disappeared, would my audience still understand and be impacted by my content? Okay, so let's move over to number five, lesson five. This is another important lesson that I have learned over the years as an author, which I think every author should also learn and practice. It says presence management and brand vision alignment are not negotiable for high impact authors. This particular point is essential because I've seen too many authors not being intentional about presence management and brand vision management or brand vision alignment, present management and brand vision alignment. I will explain exactly what I mean. So please pay attention. What do I mean by presence management? In this context, presence management comes in two parts. Number one, where you are seen. Number one is where you are seen. Number two, what is being seen when you are seen. I don't know if you caught that. Let me repeat it. First, where you are seen. Second, what is being seen when you are seen. Now, let me tell you why this matters so much. Imagine that you wrote a book on topic A, for example, but everywhere people see you, you are constantly accepting speaking engagement on topic B, which is a complete contrast to what you want to be known for. Then you keep wondering why the right opportunities are not coming. Of course, there's something you're doing that's affecting you in that manner. Authorship is your official statement of what you want to be known for. It is brand communication in action. I need you to understand this. And it took me a couple of years to understand that authorship is actually an official statement of what I want to be known for. In fact, authorship is one of the fastest ways to get your brand communication into the marketplace. So, high impact authors prioritize brand alignment, brand vision alignment before showing up anywhere to lend their voice. The second part of presence management involves what is being seen when you are seen. What is being seen when you are seen. Even if you are on the right platform, for example, even if you're on the right platform that aligns with your brand vision, if your titles, your themes, your topics, and all of that are not aligned, if they are misaligned, you are still confusing your audience, and eventually you're going to miss out on the right opportunities, on attracting the right opportunities in the marketplace. I I really wish that more authors understood the power of titles. From your book titles to your event teams to your speaking engagement, everything that has your name on it, everything that has your appearance on it, every element should align with your brand and your vision. Now, let me explain. Let me quickly share some personal experiences to buttress this. A writing organization once invited me to speak on community leadership because obviously they recognized the work I was doing with Bewa. So I accepted and I delivered the presentation. But guess what? Two people who heard about it reached out to me and hired me as their community leadership consultant, all because I was intentional about my presence management. And the experience was in 2020, yeah, as much as I can remember. 2020, that was when there was COVID lockdown, right? Yeah. So during the lockdown in 2020, I launched a mini workbook titled WhatsApp Profits. In that same period, an organization reached out to me. They saw my book cover online and they hired me to train their team without even reading the workbook. And that was where it got more interesting. And this shows you the power of aligned titles and teams. This shows you the power of aligned titles and teams. So please, if you've not gotten anything so far, don't even joke with this. Don't even joke with this. The power of aligned titles and teams. The strategy is obvious. The strategy is very clear. Average authors launch books just to sell, but high impact authors launch books to position themselves as the solution and the go to expert in their field. So take charge of your presence management and your vision alignment, your brand vision alignment across these two areas where you are seen and what is being seen when you are seen. When you do this, when you put these two things in place, just relax and watch your authorship brand experience a positive shift. Now, what are your reflection questions for this point? Number one, Am I showing up in the right places that align with my author brand and vision? Number two, what opportunities am I accepting that do not align with what I want to be known for? I hope your pen and your paper are in front of you and you're answering these questions in real time at your end. Let's go to number six, lesson six. Lesson six, contrary to popular belief, both buyers and non-buyers can be your ideal audience. Now, let me start with the non-buyers in this context. I always smile, right? I always smile when I hear people trying to shame followers who haven't purchased from them yet. You see, you need to understand that everyone is a connector in one way or the other, no matter how insignificant they may seem at the moment. On many occasions, people have reached out to me to buy my books or to hire my services just because someone in their network recommended me. And most times, when I ask who referred them, the names are completely unfamiliar. Like, seriously, the names are completely unfamiliar. I have never even interacted with many of these people, and that's the shocking part of it because we used to hear things like your target audience, your ideal audience, please remove the people that are not your buyers, focus on your audience. I mean that's been a popular belief in the industry, but like I just rightly said, contrary to that popular belief, your non-buyers can actually be part of your ideal audience. They're actually an important part of your audience. So before you rush to block your ghost followers in quotes, I think that's the word that describes people like that. You're like, who are the ghost followers? I'm gonna block you guys. When I see such things, I just smile because these people do not understand the power of even the ghost followers who actually have taken note of their value. Okay. So before you rush to block those ghost followers, please pause and think about the potential future. Many of the people who didn't buy today may buy tomorrow, or they may even recommend you to someone who will buy. So you never know. It's wisdom to keep your audience, especially if you have no personal issues with them, if they haven't personally offended you. I mean, it's wisdom to keep your audience intact. Now let's move over to the buyers. This is where most authors miss it, right? They write books with the mindset of selling. Yeah, that's the mindset they have. They write the books with the mindset of selling just once. If I can sell this book just this once, that's their goal. And without ensuring that the buyers actually get enough value to come back for more. Average authors think short term, but high impact authors think long term. High impact authors always think differently. They don't think the same way average authors think. And the purpose of this webinar is to show you how high impact authors think versus how average authors actually think. So, short term thinking means you want them to buy now, but they never come back because they didn't even get real value. But long term thinking means you want them to buy now and return for more because they got so much value the first time. I've had buyers who consistently come back to buy my books, right? And this is not by accident. They are always waiting. What's the new book you're writing? What's the new book you're writing? What's the new book you're writing? And even at the time when I've not written a new book, they'll be like, have you not written any new book? Okay, but because they got value the first time they read my book. And like I said, it's not by accident. It's not by accident. I actually worked so hard on my book project, even my free books, the Let's Talk Youth project, the quality of work that was put into that project. I mean, there was during the time when I was working on that project, people were asking me if this was actually a free book or a paid book because the level of diligence and commitment and dedication I put into that manuscript was just so high. So that tells you that whether I'm showing up for free or I'm showing up for a paid session, it has to come with value. That's the mindset of high impact authors because this eventually gives you better results. There's a quote by Napoleon Hill that says, "The man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid for more than he does." I will say that again. The man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid for more than he does. That's the more reason why I always smile when I see lack of intentionality when it comes to doing something for free. I mean, it's better you don't even do it. Don't even show up at all than to show up anyhow because it's free. These are little things that can destroy your authorship brand or even build your authorship brand. It's not by accident that people always want to read my new books. They want to get to know what I'm saying next, what's a new release. It's not an accident. I work so hard on my book project. And just this year, like I told you, I spent the first week of 2026 organizing all my new books so that my readers can truly enjoy them and learn extensively. I put in so much effort. And yes, that came with sleepless nights. This same thing happened with this free webinar you're listening to right now, this webinar you're watching, this very one. I stayed up for hours organizing a powerful learning experience. So, why did I do this? High impact authors do not compromise on quality, they invest time, energy, and resources into creating brilliant books. That is why I named my writing community Brilliant Entrepreneurs and Writers Academy, BEWA. That's also why I started Bear Writing School to raise the world's finest writers, authors, and book editors. So, as much as possible, make your book so good that readers stay glued and crave more of your works. In fact, there's a new kind of problem I want you to have. This problem is a problem of demand. The demand is just too much that you are struggling to supply. That's the kind of problem you should be looking forward to having. Okay, why? Because you are too valuable. Your readers cannot resist. All right? As much as you can, make your book so good that readers stay glued and crave more of your books. Develop professional writing skills. Learn how to write. I mean, that's so basic. Learn how to write. Develop your self editing skills. You know, work with professional editors and invest in your craft. Do this, and trust me, you will become the author that every reader cannot resist. Your reflection questions for this point are: number one, when I write books, am I thinking more about just selling copies or transforming my readers? When I write books, am I thinking more about just selling copies or transforming readers? Number two, how can I create reading experiences that make people eager to recommend my work to others? So by now, I believe that you have started thinking about these questions. These reflection questions have been mentioning for each point are not for decoration, right? I actually want you to reflect on them because at the end of this webinar, you gather your answers to those questions and then give yourself that honest opportunity to make a decision, to leave here with clarity about your authorship brand. I believe you are already enjoying this webinar. I believe you're getting great value already. Okay, so remember that this webinar is hosted in celebration of our 7th anniversary at Bewa Writing School. So before we move into the 7th point, kindly permit me to do something very important at this point. I will love to share a few testimonials from Bewa members and then introduce you to my new books alongside every other thing you need to know about Bear Writing School, right? So we have new onboarding processes and textbooks for Bear Writing School. So stay with me because after this, we will dive into the last point number 7, before we call it a day. So on your screen here are some Bear published authors. Let's hear their experiences starting from the left. Adek Basi says, at first, I was scared because writing wasn't my strength. I had always excelled in verbal communication, but I wanted to share my ideas in a tangible form. Reaching out to Enosam and Bera Writing School was the best decision I made. Her guidance, feedback, and tailored approach transformed my first draft into a polished book that I am proud of. Amazing. Louis Omilo says, writing has always been a significant part of my life, whether writing pages of reports and documents at work, writing various materials from a young age, or publishing my first book as far as almost 15 years ago. I never envisioned carrying and delaying the idea of this book for so long due to the demands of life. Enos' guidance helped me finally bring the idea to life, and I must say, in remarkable time. I'm just really thankful to have worked with Enosam and her writing school on my book project. I hope many more authors tap into her depth of resources and wealth of experience. Ofonime Basi says, I never thought I could write a book before a particular age I had in mind, but when I attended Bear Writers Workshop, I had a change of mindset. Thankfully, I stumbled on one of Enosam's posts and decided to follow her closely. I eventually joined her amazing community, Brilliant Entrepreneurs and Writers Academy, BEWA. I did not wait to get to the age I envisaged, and I'm proud of the masterpiece we created. I got Bewa as my editor and book project consultant. I'm super excited that my first book, Beyond Childbirth, was launched successfully. Finally, let's listen to Dr. Shea Maxine. He says, Enosam is a great inspiration and pillar of support intellectually to me. My book titled NGO Mastery would not be complete without her immense contribution and positive criticism. One unique attribute of a good editor is the ability to harmonize and bring disjointed ideas into reality. The back and forth discussions and adjustments associated with writing and publishing a valuable book is not for the faint hearted and impatient. I appreciate Enosam's understanding and patience throughout the entire book project. I enjoyed working together on this book project and I will gladly recommend Better Writing School every day. Super, super fantastic. And there are so many other testimonials I could not feature here, but I'm just honored to be part of the success stories of many published authors at Bewa Writing School. Now let's watch some video testimonials from others who have experienced Bewa over the last 7 years. You'll be hearing from two recipients of our Business Leadership Awards 2023, a participant from in-person editors workshop in Nigeria, and the best graduating student from our class of 2023 at the School of Grammar, English, and Creative Writing, which is the writing program that features our 30-day writing challenge. We'll be right back.
Hi there, my name is Praise Ohanwe. I am a social media strategist and an author. And today I am glad to be a recipient of the Business Leadership Awards presented by Bewa Africa. I joined the community in December 2019 and so far it's been an amazing ride. If there's one thing I know this community, Brilliant Entrepreneurs and Writers Academy, for, it's the level of excellence and precision that the coach Enosam uses to execute every single thing that relates to this brand. So over the years, it's been amazing. It's been an intense period of personal development, learning and growth, working with Coach Enosam, even as my coach and my book consultant. In 2021, I attended the Writers Boardroom, which Coach Enosam hosted, and that I would say was a landstone moment in my life because that would officially be the beginning of my brand, the Praise Ohanwe brands as it is known today. I remember that workshop being a period of unlearning, relearning. I came to understand how to establish a profitable online business. And what I learned there has been the foundation for all the work that I am doing so far. Fast forward till today, I have been blessed and privileged to be the author of a best-selling book, Digital Products Mastery, of which I worked with her as my coach and book consultant. Over the years, I have also been privileged to host my own physical events that has attracted attendees from different parts of Nigeria, and I have moved on to build a multiple seven-figure online business as a social media strategist and an author. So yes, I am blessed and privileged to be a recipient of the Business Leadership Awards, and I also consider it an honor to be a member of Brilliant Entrepreneurs and Writers Academy. So if you're a new member of Brilliant Entrepreneurs and Writers Academy, this is my advice for you. Number one, be active on the community. Don't just be that person who joins the community and remains a ghost. When you hear about Coach Enosan putting out workshops, please do your best to attend. They are worth every cent of your investment. Take it from me. Again, plug into everything that is going on. Participate in the competitions if you can. Take advantage of Coach Enosan's resources. They are remarkable. And I hope this marks the beginning of all the good things that you can do moving forward.
Hi there, my name is Odia Dede Agbo, the lead tutor of Lovers and Couples Academy, LACA, which is Africa's finest romance institution for building healthy relationships and marriages. I'm also a certified marriage mentor and a relationship consultant. I'm excited and honored to be here to receive this Business Leadership Award from BERA Africa. I've been a member of BERA Africa, and being a member of that group and having a close relationship with the founder, Coach Enosan, I've been able to be exposed to a lot of ideas and a lot of information that I've acted upon, and I've been able to launch LACA, which is Africa's finest romance institution for building healthy relationships and marriages. I've gone on to write over 15 books. We have both hard copy books and ebooks. I've been able to also host my event, both the physical event that had so many people coming from different states, that I've been able to scale up and earn 7 figures consistently. I just want to wish BERA a happy 4th anniversary. And one final word I have for the new members of that group, having been there from the very day that group was founded, is that you should not just be an onlooker, you should be actively involved in the activities going on in that group. Attend as much paid event as you can, and attend the free events as well, because just one idea, just one light from that group can just turn your life around. It doesn't matter the niche you find yourself in. I just want you to be actively involved in all the activities going on in that group.
I have to be honest that this was more than I paid for. Everything was orderly, everything was organized very well, and the lessons were in-depth, but from something she has practiced over the years. And she has an amazing team. I must applaud their commitment and dedication into training and raising brilliant writers and editors. And as a bonus, I got myself this book. So you can tell that it was a total package for me, and every investment I invested into coming here today was, in fact, it has already yielded a good return on investment. Thank you so much, Coach Eno. I truly appreciate how you've given yourself to the service of humanity.
Present students, I would like to tell you that you enrolling in BERA Writing School is not a mistake. I'm saying a big congratulations to you. And also to forthcoming students, you are planning to join BERA Writing School, please join. I want to say a big welcome. Coach Enosan and the entire BERA Writing community are here to support you all the way.
Introducing 5 new books by Enosan. What if one textbook could turn you from an average writer into a master of words? Are you ready to stop writing like everyone else and start writing like a professional? You don't need years of guesswork to write like a pro. You just need the right framework, knowing exactly what to write and how to write it. Mastery comes from mastering the basics, building intermediate skills, and finally applying advanced frameworks. This textbook walks you through every type of writing you need to build a strong writing brand. By the end, you will write with a level of clarity and confidence that makes every word unforgettable. This is the only textbook you need to move from beginner struggles to professional writing mastery. And it is also the preschool guide for joining our 30-day writing challenge at BERA Writing School, your first step to transforming your writing career. Other new books by Enosan include Authorship Mastery, 50 strategic lessons for high-impact authors. Learn how to build influence and leave a lasting impact through your books. This is the preschool guide for joining our School of Authorship. Editorial Mastery, 50 strategic lessons for world-class editors. Learn how to turn manuscript into polished professional works and grow your editing business. This is the preschool guide for joining our School of Book Editing. Leadership Mastery. 50 strategic lessons for transformational leaders. Master the art of managing people and building high-performing teams. This is the preschool guide for joining our School of Community Leadership. Marketplace Intelligence. Differentiating the wrong and right moves for your brand. Learn exactly how to make your brand unforgettable in a noisy world. This is the preschool guide for joining our School of Content Creation, Social Media, and Brand Communication. All 5 books are built on 7 years of real experience, successes, mistakes, and growth. Avoid guesswork and learn the exact strategies that work straight from experience. Order your copies now via the link in the caption.
Honestly, I have nothing more to add. Bear Writing School has a strong track record and the results speak for themselves. So, you are specially invited to read my new books and join our faculties at Bewa Writing School. The purchase and registration links are in the caption of this video. So feel free to check them out once you finish watching this video webinar. Now let's dive into the last point number 7. The final lesson for today is lesson 7. When you join a community of committed writers, your shared passion becomes tangible progress. When you join a community of committed writers, your shared passion becomes tangible progress. I had to add this particular point because I'm truly a product of a writing community. If you have ever wondered, yeah, I am a product of a writing community. So if you have ever wondered how I became inspired to take my writing career seriously or publish books and eventually start my own writing community and my writing school, just know that it all started with one significant experience, which I like to call a Kairos moment, right? Because that actually was a defining moment in my life that launched me officially and inspired me to start building my writing career with intention. I once participated in an online writing competition and I emerged as one of the top 3 winners. That experience opened my eyes so much because I saw people actively pursuing their writing dreams. I saw people publishing books. I saw people growing and doing amazing stuff in authorship. And that challenged me to start writing seriously. And today, by God's grace, I have built a strong writing community. I lead an executive and exclusive book club, and I run the Bewa Writing School, which is a leading writing school, right? So, a big shout out to the open community for being a significant part of my journey. The Bible says that iron sharpens iron. So make sure that you are in an environment where you are being sharpened and where you are also helping others grow. So it just works in this way: sharpen other like minds and allow other like minds to sharpen you too. That's the growth strategy that many authors and many writers aspiring do not know, and that's why they are stuck for years. Imagine being in the circle where writing is the norm. Like writing is the norm. Some people struggle with writing because nobody in your network is a strong writer. Nobody is passionate about writing. You're just the only one. And if you are stuck in that circle, there's no way you'll be inspired. But when you are in the company of other motivated writers, you'll be naturally motivated to take your writing seriously. So, what are your reflection questions for this particular point? Number one, or reflection questions for this point. Number one, if I had a supportive group cheering me on, what writing goal would I finally feel brave enough to pursue? Number two, what is one practical step I can take this week to connect more intentionally with other committed writers? I hope you are writing your answers already. But if you are still thinking about the second question, if you are still thinking about the right answer to the second question, let me help you. Yes, let me just help you. One of the best places you can grow is inside our private book club community at Bera Writing School, right? So you are welcome to join us. Now, let's hear from the director of programs in our club scriptorium. Emmanuel Olajide says, I joined Bewa in 2020 through a friend. Joining the community was the right choice for me because I was in the infancy of my writing journey and I needed an environment that fostered growth. Although I was a silent member and a quiet observer, I learned a lot from the content shared by the president Enosam and other community members. This shaped my perspective and enlightened me about the possibilities available to a writer. My breakthrough moment came in 2022 when I finally decided to participate in the Bewa content creation competition after watching silently for 2 years. By that time, I was already a skilled writer. From the third day of the 30-day writing challenge, people started talking about me, writing about me, and sending private messages to congratulate me on winning, even though we had just begun the competition. Those messages soon turned into collaborations, massive visibility, speaking engagements, consultancies, and writing gigs. When I was finally announced as the winner, my brand blew up and I have been flying high since then. It has been more than 3 years since I won that competition, and my brand has remained on a continuous growth trajectory. I have built a highly profitable writing career, won several prestigious awards, authored 7 books, transitioned from a content writer to a book project consultant, and trained over 30,000 people across countries including Canada, the USA, the UK, Nigeria, Cameroon, Kenya, South Africa, and Sierra Leone. Beyond my personal achievements, I am proud to have climbed the leadership ladder in Bewa, moving from a silent member to a core team member. In 2024, I had the rare privilege to serve on the content and publicity team for the prestigious Beara Writers Festival, which is the largest convergence of writers and content creators in Africa, where I developed strategies that attracted over 1,000 attendees. I also spoke at the conference as a panelist, sharing my story and journey to prominence while guiding many other writers. It is an experience I will forever remember. It was an excellent conference that stretched me, gave me the platform to impact thousands, and most importantly, allowed me to learn from the very best in Osam in close proximity. As an avid reader, I was thrilled by the launch of the Bera Book Club, a community focused on raising world class readers, writers, communicators, and thought leaders. The club is designed to develop members' skills in reading, comprehension, expression, writing, speaking, and networking. Bewa Book Club is indeed a learning hub where thinkers meet and leaders train one another through 2 major activities, scriptorium and oratoria. It focuses on holistic growth. Each month, specific books are selected, and at the end of the month, we come together to discuss and learn. The beautiful thing is that no member is a shadow of another. Each member is treated with royalty and is an active contributor, not just a consumer. If you are looking for a community to aid your growth, develop critical thinking, sharpen your communication skills, and build a reading culture, this is where you need to be. Bella Book Club community goes beyond just reading books. It also helps you become a transformational leader and live purposefully. As someone who has read an average of 52 books annually since 2020, I can tell you that this community has contributed more to my growth than reading solo ever could. At this point, I want to take a moment to congratulate and celebrate Bear Writing School on its 7th anniversary. I want to specially acknowledge the president, Coach Enosam. Thank you for betting this vision, which has now impacted hundreds and thousands of people all over the world, of whom I am a chief beneficiary. Thank you for saying yes to purpose. Thank you for saying yes to modeling excellence, igniting dormant passions, and offering mentorship with generosity. I am deeply grateful for the gift of access and the opportunity to learn and grow under your leadership. Guys, if you are not a member of Bearer Book Club yet, or you haven't enrolled in any of her training, or you haven't bought any of the books published by the president, you are missing out on something truly valuable. Please go and do so now. Long live Bewa. Wow, that was such a beautiful testimonial. Shout out to Emmanuel Olajide for this powerful testimonial. So this powerful testimonial is from Emmanuel Olajide, who is currently serving as our director of programs in our club scriptorium. This alone should tell you that we are not just a random group. Bewa Book Club community is a place to stay. The next video on your screen will tell you more about Bewa Book Club. So we truly look forward to welcoming you into Bewa Book Club community and Bewa Writing School. And as we come to the end of this webinar, I will love to know whether this session inspired you, whether you watched this on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much for being part of this experience, and thank you for watching. Happy 7th anniversary to all of us at Bewa once again.
What if every book you read actually shaped your thinking, your voice, and your future? What if every month you discovered a new perspective that changed the way you see the world? Imagine being surrounded by people who love learning as much as you do. A place where great books spark deep, thought-provoking discussions. Picture yourself walking into conversations where everyone is growing on purpose. A community that pulls you upward intellectually, one chapter at a time. What if reading stopped feeling lonely and started feeling powerful? Imagine a book club that doesn't just read, but also connects thinkers, readers, writers, and leaders. Welcome to the exclusive Bewa Book Club community. Experience our club scriptorium and oratoria and turn every book into insight, discussion, and action. Join us today at bit.ly/Bewa Book Club. Visit our social media pages to read monthly reports and frequently asked questions. Step in, take your seat, and become part of a community that will expand your mind and inspire you. Welcome aboard. Introducing 5 new books by Enosam. What if one textbook could turn you from an average writer into a master of words? Are you ready to stop writing like everyone else and start writing like a professional? You don't need years of guesswork to write like a pro. You just need the right framework, knowing exactly what to write and how to write it. Mastery comes from mastering the basics, building intermediate skills, and finally applying advanced frameworks. This textbook walks you through every type of writing you need to build a strong writing brand. By the end, you will write with a level of clarity and confidence that makes every word unforgettable. This is the only textbook you need to move from beginner struggles to professional writing mastery. And it is also the preschool guide for joining our 30-day writing challenge at Bewa Writing School, your first step to transforming your writing career. Other new books by Enosam include Authorship Mastery, 50 strategic lessons for high-impact authors. Learn how to build influence and leave a lasting impact through your books. This is the preschool guide for joining our School of Authorship. Editorial Mastery, 50 strategic lessons for world-class editors. Learn how to turn manuscript into polished professional works and grow your editing business. This is the preschool guide for joining our School of Book Editing. Leadership Mastery, 50 strategic lessons for transformational leaders. Master the art of managing people and building high-performing teams. This is the preschool guide for joining our School of Community Leadership. Marketplace intelligence, differentiating the wrong and right moves for your brand. Learn exactly how to make your brand unforgettable in a noisy world. This is the preschool guide for joining our School of Content Creation, Social Media, and Brand Communication. All 5 books are built on 7 years of real experience, successes, mistakes, and growth. Avoid guesswork and learn the exact strategies that work straight from experience. Order your copies now via the link in the caption. Bewa began as Brilliant Entrepreneurs and Writers Academy, a Facebook community with a membership track record of over 100,000 writers worldwide. Today, through Bewa Writing School and Bewa Book Club Africa, we are redefining education for writers and building a culture of reading, writing, personal development, and leadership while contributing to Global Quality Education (SDG 4). Our speaker is Eno Sam, President of Bewa Writing School and author of impactful books including the Advanced Writing Textbook, Authorship Mastery, Marketplace Intelligence, Editorial Mastery, and Leadership Mastery.